up? Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat the hardest AI on the Age of Empires 2 HD edition. Now, for those of you who don't know, the AI has actually been upgraded recently, and there is a completely new version of the AI in the game. So I decided to make a quick video to show you how I beat it. Obviously there's no set way to beat it, but if you are struggling to beat the hard AI, then or the hardest AI even, then you could try something like this and see if it works for you as well. So I'll be going over some tips and stuff. I've literally just finished this game. It probably went on a little longer than I was hoping. And you've got to excuse my play here, it is a little bit sloppy, but even with sloppy play you can beat the hardest AI. It shouldn't be too much of a problem at all. So down to the south then, in the red, this is the AI itself. It's called Robert the Bruce, and he's actually playing as the Celts. Funny, because I'm also playing as the Celts. Now, the map is Arabia. So we can kind of expect that the AI here is going to be doing a feudal rush. Now, I did go for a riskier strategy, a strategy that in a normal situation, in a normal game, you wouldn't go for, and I actually did a fast castle and then went with knights. Now, I didn't really build much economy behind it. My idea was to just go in straight into knights and try and rush knights, and well, you will see the result fairly soon. So these AIs are going to be upgraded more and more. Promi is working on them. Promi's also got an AI for user patch as well, which he even admits is stronger than this one. But the AI is definitely a big upgrade to the standard Age of Empires the Conquerors AI, and a lot of people have been saying, you know, man, the AI is really tough now. How do I beat it? So yes, this is gonna be that video. So you can see initially I started scouting around. I did scout with some sheep. I found my 2 boar over here on the right hand side, and I'm currently looking for the remaining 2 sheep, I believe. I see a big deer patch out here at the front, which is obviously in a pretty bad location as it is right at the front of my base, but it's not too much of a problem for me, as you will see a little bit later on. So a notable difference about this AI, what could this AI do? Well, in the Conquerors, the AI could never lure its own boar, and I'm pretty sure we will see that in action. The AI should be able to lure its boar just fine, and well, we'll keep an eye on it to see what it does. According to Promi as well, at the moment there is a little bit of issue with scouting, and the scouting is not as good as it could be. Have a look at the red scout here. He's not actually found his 2 sheep. He has found his 2 boar, so I imagine we'll see a boar lure from the AI very soon. Meanwhile, at my base, I've got my first boar in already. Not messing around with that. Going for a pretty standard fast castle build order here. Though I do make a few tweaks because I couldn't find my last sheep for quite a while. They're hiding up here, right at the top of the map. But I do find them, fortunately, and I bring them in. So far what I've done is I've sent 3 villagers over to wood. I've lured in my first boar. I've got my mill up on my berries, but I did send a couple of villagers to take this sheep because I was a little late taking the first boar. So I added a couple of extra villagers to take the sheep so it didn't rot away before sending more villagers over to the berries. So I kind of just flipped it over a little bit, but it works out just fine anyway. Obviously, you may see a few Dark Age guides and stuff. It's perfectly fine to mix it up slightly. Just because there is a build order that is recommended doesn't mean that you have to follow it to the letter, because obviously not every map's going to be the same. You may come across some difficulties and such. So I'm just bringing in my second boar now. I kind of cock up because these sheep on the left almost get taken away from under the TC, but fortunately I moved them back in just in time, but that results in a little bit of a shoddy boar lure. It's not quite under the town centre, but it's not the end of the world. So now I've got my 4 villagers gathering berries. I've got 7 villagers here taking the boar, and I've got 2 on the sheep with 3 sheep remaining, which will be taken after this boar is done. I'm going to send over another villager now to build a house, but then go onto the wood. And you'll see what I do after that. Meanwhile, the AI is actually luring its boar in. Of course, this would be impossible on the Conquerors, but with the new HD AI stuff, they are able to do that, albeit a little bit messily. This villager here trying to build a farm whilst a boar like rams her in the ass, but hey, she doesn't mind. She didn't die, and she's gonna turn into a lovely farmer for us. So you can see the AI is considerably behind at this stage. Obviously my Dark Age is going pretty well for me at the moment. I've not had too many major cock-ups. I'm pretty sure I haven't... what's the word? Pretty sure I haven't been pop blocked too much. But I do come down here and try and build a mill. But I didn't scout and see this wolf. It was either just in this fog of war here or here, which means I lost a villager to a wolf. How embarrassing. But it's not the end of the world. Obviously at this stage I didn't have loom, because that is something that you get right before you go up to the feudal age. But yeah, I kind of cock up a bit there. End up getting killed by a wolf. But either way, I'm going to come down and take these this deer patch on the front, because there's actually 6 deer here, which is really nice if you're going to do a fast castle, because it does bring in a little bit of extra food. It does allow you to take advantage of that, and it does lend itself quite nicely to a night rush, which is what I will end up aiming for. So I'm on 22 population at the moment. My castle time isn't fantastic, as I say. I've been a little bit sloppy, but even with the sloppiness, it is possible to stay ahead of the AI. Park my scout inside of his base for now as well. I can see he's clearly got a lumber camp here, so I will end up targeting that, and I will move him around as well a little bit later to kind of, you know, see what's going on and find out what Red's up to. Building a lumber camp over here, not the best location, let's be honest. That's really out on the front, bit of a silly place for a lumber camp. But the AI's map is a little bit lame, to be honest with you. He doesn't really have very good wood, and his gold is at the front, so I kind of got lucky with that. But saying that, my gold is also at the front, but I have got a nice wood back here, which is all good. So 5 villagers on the wood there, just doing a loom now, finishing up that sheep. I've got 3 farms down, and I'm sending 3 villagers over to gold, not to mention the 4 villagers that I have taking the deer as well. I'm on 25 population. I would be on 26 if I didn't lose this damn villager, and I'm clicking up at 10 minutes 20. It's not amazing, but it is good enough for now, as the AI decides that this is the good time to lure in a second boar and lose a villager. So we're both down by 1. This is fantastic. I'm just kind of harassing his villagers a bit. Now the AI does not respond very well to having its villagers harassed. You can see that quite clearly. You attack a villager, they're both going to attack you, or these 2 are going to attack you, and then you can just run away, and they give chase. And I don't know why, but they give chase for quite a while. You'll see me, I'm moving my scout back and forth here, and I keep these women interested. They want the man on the horse, and they're coming after me no matter what. So obviously that is quite a big impact. They eventually do go back. But you could, if you have good micro, you can keep hitting and running villagers. And I think in a previous game, when I was just kind of seeing what it was like, I had like 6 villagers following me all the way across the map, because I kept my scout in sight, and I kind of lured them away. But if you don't want to be cheaty, don't hit their villagers and make them follow you, because they will do that. So I'm up to feudal now. The AI is up as well, but you can see that he's gone up on 26 population, I've gone up on 25, and in actual fact, the AI is technically ahead of me at this stage, although I do have the right resources in the bank to go up to the castle age in just a sec. So you can see, here it is, 5 villagers chasing me down. I'm just microing my scout around a little bit, not too much, but yeah, that gets interesting. So I'm up to castle feudal now, gonna stick a market blacksmith down. Obviously going to be fast castling. 2 villagers queued up at the town centre, or 3, because I put an extra one on there by mistake. You can see I'm on very, very close to the right amount of resources for the castle time. Going to be able to click up in just a second, which is all well and good. I've got 4 villagers on gold, and I put them on gold nice and early so that I can prioritise getting knights out and getting some of that gold in the bank, so I can keep making knights. So not the fastest time. Wait for this market to go up. There it is. Castle going up now for me, and Castle Age going up for me, and barracks going up on this right side as well, because I will need a barracks to make a stable. Now the AI is in the feudal age at this stage. They have got a barracks, and they do not have anything else. So no military from them. They're still taking economy stuff. They don't have the wood to build that second building. And I think the reason they don't have that wood is because I was harassing these villagers with the scout cavalry. So perhaps if I hadn't have done that, they would have had a little bit more wood. There's the scout moonwalking down the hill. We got Michael Jackson's scout here. I'm surprised I caught that, because I saw it when I was playing. I was like, ah, damn, I got to get that on the video. Yeah, I caught it. Fantastic. Yeah, the AI, you know, pretty strong economy at this stage, but not a lot of military. There's an archery range going up, and he's actually making man-at-arms. Interesting decision, Mr. AI. Will it pay off? Well, we'll see. It's really slow to start getting the first units out. Now, obviously, a lot of people saying, oh, the AI is really difficult. We'll be playing at a slower pace, and therefore they will get overwhelmed quite quickly. But you will see in just a second's time. I mean, I've got the stable up now. I built that using the villagers on the front to have a little bit of a forward base. Not really super forward, but definitely closer to the enemy than if I built it at home. And I'm going to go castle or hit castle very soon. Again, as I've said before, not the fastest time in the world, but it doesn't really matter too much. Just doing some researches now as well. I've done horse collar at the mill because I will be seeding more farms. Obviously I'll need 6 farms at least to keep villagers coming out the TC, and then I will need another 6 to keep knights coming out. But there we go, to castle now, and knights coming out. I did the plate barding as well so that I could get +1 defense on the knights, and there we go, the first knight is coming out, and obviously I've got a bit of vision. I can see there's a lumber camp here. I can see the gold mining. I don't see the gold mining camp, but I see the gold, and I can go straight over here and start to harass. I do get housed a little bit. Again, just watch your population. Something I just never do. I'm terrible. I'm forever housed. As you probably know if you watch the stream, I am forever housed. But yeah, so knight going to come in, +1 defense. It's not really a big deal. You know, I don't really even bother with the upgrades that much. It's just about getting the numbers out. You know, I could stick down a second TC right now. I have got the wood, I have got the stone. But I'm just going to focus on getting these knights out, just to demonstrate that with a few knights you can do more than enough damage. Obviously a little bit overwhelmed initially here. There's quite a few man-at-arms, so I do run back. I'm like, right, that's a fair few number of man-at-arms you have there, Mr. AI. But you've got to remember that these units are terribly weak in comparison to a knight with 100 HP compared to the 45 of the man-at-arms. It's really not too difficult to take them down. And I decide to add a second stable as well, so that I can continue to pump these units out. Not even bothering really to micro, but I should clear this up very easily indeed. These knights slowly getting whittled down, but none of them dying so far. So that's fantastic. That's the AI's army dealt with, and obviously, you know, the score now tipped in my favor. I've got these knights, I can regroup them together, and I can go to hit his economy, because he really doesn't have a whole lot of military out. He is adding in some spearmen though, which is nice. He obviously is reacting to the fact that I'm making some knights. But yeah, I'm going to come in here to the front, definitely pick up some villagers, and I should be able to just keep doing that now. Just keep knights coming out from these stables whenever I remember to queue them, and just hit his eco, because he's going to lose quite a few villagers to this. I mean, losing 4 already, and because they're still feudal, they're going to keep pumping out that feudal army, and they are nowhere near to the castle age now, because they keep investing food into villagers, they keep investing resources into archery range units and barracks units, whilst I destroy all with these knights. I think eventually, once I've got enough villagers taking the gold here to keep these dudes coming out from both stables, I think eventually I will add in a second and third TC, because of course if you do a night rush, you will want to be thinking about the Imperial Age as well, building your economy up quickly and effectively so that you can get to the Imperial Age. But obviously that is not the priority right now, but it is always in the back of the mind. So coming in, trying to hit and run at multiple places as well. Obviously this is the AI, so it's easier for the AI to deal with multiple hit and runs from different locations, as it's controlled by a computer and not a human. But if you're fighting against a real person, control group your units. These guys on the right could be control group 2, these guys on the left control group 1, and basically, yeah, just control group them, try and bring some in from one angle, bring others in from another, and you won't have too much of a problem. Obviously though, there is a few too many spearmen here, so I'm just going to go back, regroup back at the stables, and I'll have more knights out by then to deal some more damage. So Yeah, obviously at the moment, just keeping AI right stuck inside of his base. He's lost quite a few villages already, and still fielding that feudal army. It's not getting him anywhere at this moment in time. So I'm starting to add in more farms now. I do need more food. I've got enough villagers here taking the gold. We'll need to add a few more to keep knights coming out. But yeah, typically just keeping adding on those knights. As you can see, I'm not really even bothering with the upgrades, and it's more than enough to absolutely wreck Red's army. At this stage, I mean, they have been beat for quite a while, but at this stage it is crystal that they are going to be beat. However, the AI does not want to resign yet, and we're going to have to see it through to the bitter end. So I'm going to get out a mangonel or two in a second, and start dealing with this TC here. There's the first mangonel. I'm pretty sure I do too, but yeah. Meanwhile, back at home, just continuing with the eco, plenty of wood income here, making sure, of course, that you can afford to keep putting those farms down. They do get quite costly, and again, plenty of gold, making sure to do the gold mining upgrades as well, because you do need a lot of gold if you're doing knights from 2 stables. You'll need a lot of gold, you know, whatever you're doing. If you're doing crossbows as well, you're going to need it for mangonels and things like that. It's a very gold intensive game. So yeah, mangonel out now, and the AI really just is doomed. There is no question about it. The mangonel are going to start whittling down on this TC. The second one's going to be out in a second as well, and that's going to finish things off. I just focus fire the TC here, and the AI is not really offering any resistance at this stage. They have no economy to do it. They've got no resources to do it. It's just not going to work for them, let's put it that way. And the knights are going to keep coming out. If I bother to actually make any more. That's one problem. If you're playing against people who aren't really a challenge to you, you often kind of get relaxed and you don't bother playing to your full potential, which is kind of what happens here. Obviously, there's no point going to the Imperial Age. The game is won at this point. So the AI is now down to 10 population, and his TC is lost. He's trying to rebuild over here, though. He's like, okay, right, I need a blacksmith, I need an archery range, I need a barracks, and I need a market. God damn it, I don't have any of those things yet. Although he does have those things. Everything's getting destroyed. I'm going to come over here now, and I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As you can see, defeating the hardest AI, it's not that difficult. You've just got to know what it does, and you've got to be able to react accordingly. Doing a night rush is a really common thing, and even playing sloppily and stuff, you can still get there. So if you're struggling to beat the hard AI, try following a strategy very similar to this. You can kind of keep a close eye on the build order here. You could probably do a feudal rush as well and do significant damage to the AI, as it is quite slow to get up to the feudal age. So yeah, there we have it. I'm going to be doing an interview with Promi, the guy who made this AI, and also he made the AI called Promi for user patch. They are very strong compared to the originals, so they do offer a good challenge to newer players, which is fantastic. But yeah, check that out on the website. There's going to be a link in the description below to the interview with Promi, who made this AI. But for now, thanks for watching, guys. I've been Zach, and I will see you next time.